간호사 박지혜라고 합니다. 수술실 간호
Any of you are watching this before the session actually begun, you should fast forward it a little bit, yeah, because I'm still waiting for everybody to join me. All right. I don't know why, but okay, so there's one viewer. Hi everybody. Okay, well, so I guess there's no point, not too much point in waiting for people to join us. So I'll just start. We can always watch this later, anyways. Um, okay, so let's go. So today, the session 11, we are going to study pivot table the third for the third time, and today we are going to talk about other features for applications, and I'm going to show you how what we have learned will lead to dashboard. So, to be honest, the way I have scheduled our overall curriculum, it's not too well planned out. I'll be honest, but just know that uh, most of the things that we need to build a decent dashboard we have learned already. We just have to review, practice for ourselves, and look into the last parts, last features of what we have learned already. Okay, so as always, before we start, let's talk about why we are doing this. Um, Efficiency always comes from the working hour, not just from the working hours, but it comes also from the proficiency. If you don't know how to use the Excel properly, it doesn't matter how much time you put in there. You must always remember to make yourself efficient and proficient in the skill. And uh, as for private training anytime, you must invest into your own skills. And remember, progress is progress no matter how small. When we know the right target, when we know where we are going, even if you're going slow that way, you will get there eventually. Okay, so let's go to our session 11. Okay, today. So, I forgot. part. Okay, so today, actually, let me just before we start, let me just tell you guys that all the things that we need to learn in terms of uh, pivot table, so like the core stuff, we already learned everything. It's now it's all up to you guys to start playing around with this, figuring out, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Ask yourself questions and just going back and forth about, okay, this is this, this is that, so I have to put them together, X and Y. How do I do that? It's really up to you now. There's nothing else I can teach you. Everything should be ready to go. It's practice now. But um today I decided actually I haven't actually sorry not decided. I have as I was reviewing my own pivot table, I have realized there was some questions I could not did not answer properly, which was actually Miss Dow's question. So we are going to talk about that, and that's part of our other feature. And we are going to learn how other feature will lead to building our dashboard, which is our very final goal. Okay, now let's go to our Excel now. So before we go on, I want you guys to ask yourself, what is pivot table again? Okay, this is as a reminder. So pivot table, as I told you, it's basically from a data set of database. You can choose to we choose to put certain information on the x-axis, certain on the y-axis, and you figure out what is the intersection between those databases. Okay, so that's pivot table. Okay, the reason and why do we use that? So that we know the intersection. Okay. Now, having answered those two questions, um, I want you guys to think about this question that Miss Dow asked me. So Miss Dow asked me, can we use pivot table to show us average for the numbers? So before I told her that, can we do average, etc. in the pivot? And I said, yes, but we have to create a separate column for whatever you want to see. Sorry, this is not correct. So I have done my own studies as well, and then I am going to show you that the pivot table itself, within the pivot table, there are features that we can use to figure out the average and all the other mathematics stuff. Let me show you. Okay, not too complicated. Okay, so um, now let's go and let me show you how that's being done. Okay, let's build a pivot table together. You should know how to do this by now. So that, and then we are going to put the worksheet on here. So we have small, nice space on top of it. Okay, and then I press okay, and then so let's just do we've done this many times already. We put name, and then we are going to put average. Actually, we are going to forget that average light because actually there are other ways we can do this. Uh, likes in September, likes in August. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, so uh, there are ways and there are things, other features that we can use to change if this will be the total or this can be average, whatever. The way we do this is you go here and it's going to say, sorry, once again, that, wait, I'm blocking the view. Okay. Um, if you go here, you can press this button. I don't know if it's too visible. It says the setting for the field, values on the field. I press that, and in fact, we can choose what kind of information we want to show. The default option is that we show the total number of certain whatever the value, but we can do how many, and we can do average, we can do the maximum, we can do the minimum, we can do the multiplication, we can do how many numbers in there, and here it's going to say standard deviation and variances, distributions, all that, which are all the statistics. So you don't probably you don't really want to use the ones that are the last fives, but we have average, we have maximum, minimum, multiplications. Okay, for the sake of our explanation, let me just set this value as for that we are going to set that as average. Okay. Sorry, the one problem here is that we can set the number as average, but because the background database we have set here, it doesn't really have to show any likes or in terms of averages. We don't actually need anything like that. That's why it doesn't change anything because one for example Fabregas, the likes in August, there are only one number set for Fabregas in August. But I just wanted you to know that the feature average is actually possible. Now as for this one, let's try how many values are there. It says how many values. Um, as you can see, one only for the likes in August, only one value for each of Allen, Bonds, Brian, all that is attached to them like that. And I know I'm not showing you the best example. I had to use the background database from the previous time. But I want you to know when you want to in the future when you are building your own database and when you're building your pivot table in the future, there are other features we can use to manipulate those numbers. You don't have to actually put the average column separately. And as I showed you before, you have to go here later and then see the other kind of thing, other things that are available for us. So let's try the other feature for the last time. And once again, for each Allen, there is only one maximum and one minimum, so it's not really showing anything different. But I want you to know that there are other features available for this pivot. Now, the main issue today is actually not just this, but what I want to talk to you guys about is that I want to show you. In fact, this is the dashboard I am building. Let me just make it bigger, and then uh, and I'll be honest. Even my as I'm doing more dashboard as I'm preparing this dashboard for our operations at LAFS, I am looking at myself being uh, very not as skillful as I thought I was. Okay, so I'm going to show you the very basic steps I have taken before I put all the information together and put it on the pivot table of a dashboard. Before I do that, there are steps I'm taking. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. Uh, and 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 I wish next time I talk to you guys, I will be showing you much more advanced version of our dashboard here. But for now, just know that there are basic steps I am taking to build our own database. So without any more introduction, let me show you what I'm actually doing to build this dashboard. Okay, so this is the title page. So never mind this. This is actually quite easy. Okay, so that as for the dashboard, I haven't made anything at the moment. I haven't made anything at the moment. But you will realize you can see that I am building dashboard source. Okay, let me show you why I am building dashboard source separately. Um, uh, all the things that I'm trying to show onto dashboard, for example, in terms of human resource management, I want to show total headcount, total salary. In terms of accounting, I want to show sales, accumulated sales, cost of goods sold, accumulated cost of goods sold, overhead cost, etc. Yeah. Uh, I realized that I cannot really use many data on all the different sheet and try to put them all together here. Uh, maybe if in the future, maybe you guys will be better than me in Excel, so maybe you guys can do that. But my suggestion is that you make a dashboard source where all the data that are in here, the backup data, the actual data, they 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 are shown here first, and then I will I think by end of next week I will have all the information filled in, and then I'm going to use this the table to build just one table for one pivot only. And I know that's some very skillful Excel users, they know how to put more than one table into one single pivot. I tried that. Really, it doesn't work for me. I couldn't do it. I keep making mistakes and errors. I couldn't do it. So just like I will be doing it for the future dashboard. What I want you to remember is that don't try to do that the advanced expert level or you know, start first thing off the bat. What you have to do is make a dashboard source which shows you which answers the questions that you want to which answers sorry, which shows the items that you want to see first. Just name them out, and then I think, you know, for our dashboard purpose, the x-axis will be date, I think, most of the time. But if there's something else, think about that. Make this table first, and then I'm going to turn this into pivot later. Remember, I think I told you guys this in the very first the lesson of pivot tables. The most important thing when you are building the pivot table or the dashboard is that you have to set the table and the database in the right form. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess. I wasted so much time trying to figure this out, but I'm very glad that I can confidently tell you when you want to build a dashboard, start with this, and we are going to see more progress. Unfortunately, I had to cover up many of the numbers here because some of them are confidential. Before I end today's session, let me just show you the kind of links I have made. You know, for example, it's actually really simple. You know, just so you can see that for example, net profit of LAFS in 2021 September equals to IS, the whatever sheet, K35. So I think we are talking about this, you know, in this thing. I am showing you guys, I'm showing you guys, okay, so this is actually, I don't think I'm talking with the proper purpose here. Yeah. Basically, I'm going to develop this, and then next week we are going to see the dashboard. Maybe I'm going to change the name. Maybe I'm going to change the numbers so that the confidential information are hidden on the YouTube. And using that, I think I can give you much better view of how we can build a pivot table, and then using the pivot table, we're gonna develop it into the dashboard. So that's it. For this session, I don't think I have taught you guys a lot, except that I'm actually showing you the steps I'm taking. Because starting from the dashboard, this is also something very new to me, and that's why I instead of teaching you something, I'm actually showing you what I will be doing and what I am doing right now. So let's build this dashboard together little by little. And now, especially you, I know that you are very interested in this. No, using what we make here as a prototype, maybe in the future we can build our own dashboard in the insurance as well. That's it.